with this because he killed someone? An innocent?
I think John McClane might be, just based on the movies, because at the end of every movie he was a hero.
Yes.
Like Ticker Tape Parade, everybody wanted to be him. And at the beginning of the next movie, he was always really depressed and drunk.
So imagine how depressed he'd be if he also killed someone by accident.
Well, I think maybe that's what happened. We just saw it off screen.
Oh, interesting, interesting.
Maybe someone like Tom Cruise, though, he knows you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. So you're in a car chase, you're on your motorcycle, you're knocking people over left and right, but you're saving lives, saving the world.
Well, is he? I don't know. Let's say like a Jack Reacher. I haven't seen this movie. I don't know what the plot is or whatever, but it's not like a Men in Black, Mission Impossible, where he's actually saving the world. In a Jack Reacher, it seems like more of a personal story.
Yeah, I think
so. If he runs a
wrongs.
couple people down, he's righting wrongs. But if he runs a couple people down, like he's probably going to jail, right?
I think he might be above the law in that one, from what I see in the trailers. He's saying, a couple minutes, someone's going to come and release me, and they're going to arrest you. So he's like a mercenary.
Well, how is a mercenary above the law?
I don't know. I think the law hires him. People are hiring him to go and do things.
He's
and
an
he
independent
has,
contractor.
Carte blanche to do just about anything he wants, including probably killing a couple pedestrians.
Okay, Tom Cruise, he's someone's chasing him. Yeah. All right, there's some bad guy chasing him.
Well, it's not his fault then.
He's driving down the street, and he mows down a pair of kids in front of the father has them all chained together. They're all holding hands. They're walking across the street, and Tom Cruise just mows through those two kids, and that father is left standing there, the bloody stump of his son's hand.
Yeah.
Is Tom Cruise really a hero?
It depends how many people. Like, I feel like he definitely bite his lip and do like a, But I think he knows better. Some people aren't going to make it, and it's the father's fault.
Now,
Not pulling them out of the way.
You told me a real life story of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, exactly. Tom Cruise is a hero in real life as well, because he stopped when there was a hit and run. So actually, I think he would feel really bad. I don't think killing a couple of kids would go over very well with him. But he stopped.
So someone got hit by a car and he stopped, and so he's a hero.
Yeah, I think it was a young woman got hit by a car, hit and run. Maybe she was in a car. I don't know. But he stopped. He pulled over. He called the ambulance. He rode with her in the ambulance. He's a good Samaritan. And then he's at the hospital, finds out that she doesn't have insurance. It's America. Mm-hmm. And he pays for her hospital bills.
That's pretty nice.
He's a hero.
Seems a little suspicious, though. I detect ulterior motives.
What? How?
I suspect that Tom Cruise is like riding his motorcycle or something, being a cool guy.
Being reckless?
Being reckless, too cool of a cool guy, takes this lady out. She's on the side of the road. She's injured. Something's broken. She's having trouble breathing. He goes, listen, I'm Tom Cruise. I'll give you $1 million. I'll cover your medical bills. And you keep this between you and me. Deal? We'll say it was a hit and run. Someone hit you and left. And here I come. I'm a hero. She goes, $1 million. Yeah, deal.
I'd do it for free.
Well, yeah, you're a big Tom Cruise
Just
fan.
to have anything between me and Tom Cruise.
Wow. And so so let's put you in this situation. Tom Cruise, someone in a face-covering helmet runs you down.
Yeah.
You're on the side of the road. You're bleeding. Your jeans are torn. You think you've cracked a rib. You're coughing up a little blood. You're like, oh.
Doesn't
and then the helmet
bad.
comes off and he swings his hair around.
Oh, it's like Mission Impossible 2 Tom Cruise?
It's Tom Cruise.
Okay.
And
sorry, I jumped. I assumed
sort of
much.
medium long-haired Tom Cruise. He says, "Oh my God, are you all right?" And you choke up a little blood, and you go, "No." And then he goes, "Listen, I'm Tom Cruise," and you go, "Oh my God, listen, I'm gonna give you $1 million, cover your medical bills. You just have to pretend forever that someone else hit you, and I stopped to help you. All right?" Okay. 911. What's your emergency? Tom Cruise here.
You can't say Tom Cruise is here.
Why not?
You can't say. You
Wouldn't that get you? I feel like Tom Cruise in his whole life, if he starts with Tom Cruise here, he's getting better service.
Yeah, but you can't be on the phone, because I could just call 911 and be like, Tom Cruise here. There's been an emergency.
You don't sound like Tom Cruise.
I guess, but during an emergency, everyone just sounds panicked, no?
I guess. No, not Tom Cruise. He's too cool.
I guess. Just say it's Tom.
Why would he say it's Tom? What does it matter that it's Tom?
Well, what does it matter at all what his name is? Can you just say there's been an emergency?
Well, no, because let's restart that. There's been an emergency.
Yeah.
There was a hit and run. This man needs medical attention. I am on the side of the I-95. We need an ambulance here as soon as possible. We're sending out an ambulance. Who am I speaking with? Tom Cruise.
I think he'd know better. I think he'd know he has to lie about his name.
What's he going to say? Like Lance Beaudry?
Armstrong. Just can't think of a fake name. Lance Beaudry?
Lance Lancelot.
No, I mean, that also wouldn't work. But saying Tom Cruise, you're just going to get, sir, this is for emergency calls only.
This is an emergency. I am Tom Cruise. Show me the money.
He's making it worse. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the cops would still have to come.
Yeah, I feel like they would
Just
still
in
have to come,
case.
just in case.
Ambulance and all.
So now you've made $1 million.
Yeah.
You have a special secret with Tom Cruise.
And I don't seem that injured, because if it's a potential broken rib, I think.
Well, no, you got like I don't know. You may have broken leg. You've got a cracked rib. You're coughing up blood. It's not serious.
But I'll get over it. 100%.
Yeah, you're not gonna die, but it's you probably have a couple surgeries. You're not gonna feel great for the next month, that's for sure. Except inside, because you met Tom Cruise and you have a special secret with him.
I mean, I feel like this is one long question to ask me if I turned Tom Cruise in, and you know that I wouldn't.
I suppose, yeah. No, you'd be happy to continue having that special secret with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. So I'd be okay with it. And for $1 million, I think most people would too.
Okay, so I guess my real point is,
yes.
How do you think Tom Cruise is just a good Samaritan and didn't do this exact scam that I'm explaining right now?
Well,
you'd go along with it. So would this woman who apparently Tom Cruise helped, like a real good guy.
Well, when you put it that way.
Tom Cruise is probably a real dirtbag who just runs people down and then pays them off to keep their mouths shut. That's sick stuff, man. Real sicko.
Well, it's an accident. He's making amends for it. I think that's a stand-up guy right there.
I know. He's cleaning up his mess. That's not really...
It's an adult thing to do. You clean up your own messes.
That's true. So, Matthew, what did you think of your Kentucky Fried Chicken burger?
Goddamn wallpaper.
Wallpaper paste.
Wallpaper
That was the
paste.
gravy. The rest of the food was just slop.
It was all bad. In general, I really like KFC. Today, I was not impressed with anything. The bun was soggy. The chicken was just very weird shape inside of the bun. Like it doesn't have to be a perfect patty, but it just looked weird. It didn't really fit inside.
Maybe that's because it's a real piece of chicken.
Yeah.
They're not forming it into anything. They're just breading it as it is.
Yeah. And the fries were undercooked and not very good.
Okay.
There's no salt to be had at this restaurant. I would have to ask them, and I didn't ask them.
You really find?
Yep.
I found everything was so salty.
Not salty enough.
Wow.
We didn't get any gravy.
I know, but apparently that's wallpaper paste.
Yeah, but we didn't even get it.
But yeah, that's true. I really wish I got a tiny cup of gravy to dip my fries in.
Yeah.
Instead, I got 4 packets of ketchup.
Yeah.
Just cast upon my tray.
Yeah. And normally they give you little Colonel Sanders wet naps.
That's true. We didn't get those either.
I think we got the short end of the stick here. I think we should have gone to a full-fledged one, but that one's been ripped up.
Yeah. Instead, that we went to a gravel lot.
Yeah. So I really wasn't impressed. I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't happy with the piece of chicken I got. I found it didn't have the look, the taste, the consistency of a bucket of chicken.
Yeah, it was a little more golden, a little flakier than I'm used to for a Kentucky Fried Chicken piece of chicken. It was a drumstick, a single drumstick.
Yeah.
That was weird because I got the same thing as you, but the Zinger burger. And instead of getting a single drumstick, I got 2 smaller wings that were kind of spicy, but did taste very much like classic KFC.
Yeah.
Classic to me, apparently not to the Colonel, who was throwing this garbage on the floor before I was even born. Losing his mind over it.
Yeah.
To the point that he opened a new restaurant with his wife. What was it? The Colonel's Lady?
The Colonel's Lady, yeah.
The Colonel's Lady, Mrs. Sanders.
What was he saying about it? He was also saying that some of the products were not fit to bear his likeness.
That's right. He sued the parent company that purchased KFC over the alleged misuse of his image in promoting products he had not helped develop. Like, the Colonel would be spinning in his grave right now.
Yeah.
Thinking about this, zinger sandwich and the popcorn chicken.
All the people that have portrayed him lately.
That's a whole other thing. Like, in the past, like, in the 2000s...
He would have never given his clearance for this.
10 different comedians have portrayed him in commercials.
Making a mockery of him.
Pretty much, with wildly varied performances.
Yeah.
There was Norm Macdonald, who's speaking almost exactly like Norm Macdonald does, but with maybe a little Southern twang. There's Rob Riggle doing a really over-the-top kind of Southern version. There was Rob Lowe, really just talking exactly like Rob Lowe, but dressed like the Colonel.
Yeah, in no way was he trying to do a impression.
No impression at all.
It's like, I'm Rob Lowe. You get Rob Lowe when you get Rob Lowe.
Yeah. Jim Gaffigan.
That was probably one of the most insulting.
It was so weird. He had dreams about chicken or nightmares about chicken.
Yeah.
And then woke up and rambled for a while about how he has a lot of nightmares about chicken. A lot of dreams about chicken too. And his wife says, "Go to bed, honey. I married you because you look kind of like a chicken."
Yeah. Yeah. It's the beginning of that almost insinuated that he had some weird affairs with chickens.
It's very, very strange stuff. Very strange stuff. I can't imagine that the Colonel would be happy with any of this stuff. I don't understand.
Not one performance I think he would be happy with.
I mean, he's not even happy with the food and hasn't been in like 50 years. So I don't understand. I don't know
who's in charge of his estate, but they're doing a terrible job.
You should really call your mother and ask what's going on. Why Rob Riggle can play the Colonel in such a disrespectful manner.
In no way would my mom think that Rob Riggle is a real name.
He is a colonel. He should not be disrespected. So.
Did he fight in the war?
I don't believe so. I believe the governor of Kentucky can dub anyone he wants a colonel.
He probably owned slaves, though, right?
No, I don't think so. Judging
by in the 20s,
he was born in 1890. So let's say by the time he was 20, 1910. Yeah, I mean slavery had definitely been abolished. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. He probably did not own slaves.
Okay. Oh well, it makes his ghost a little
less.
Well.
What a shame that Colonel Sanders did not own slaves.
I just mean it would make his ghost a little less. Give his ghost a little less character.
I guess. I mean, it makes him a little less terrifying and a little less horrible. It makes him like a much friendlier face.
Yeah. But I like to think that he's this like horribly racist, angry old man.
Can you imagine if it was like slave owner Colonel Sanders' face spinning on a bucket of fried chicken? I don't think that would go over very well.
Probably not.
It would really be like, you think Chick-fil-A's having a bad time with their homophobia. KFC would not be in business if the Colonel was a slave owner.
I think if the Colonel was still alive, KFC would not be in business. Because I feel like he would have a lot to say about the way the world's going. just based on how he wasn't happy where the gravy was going.
That's true. He was a very outspoken man when it came to fried chicken and gravy and biscuits, etc.
Yeah.
What do you think he would think of? I'm sure he would not have liked the neon green coleslaw and would be okay with where it's gone. Mind you, I don't think we finished up on this coleslaw.
No.
It tastes the same, pretty much.
Pretty much, only mine was definitely frozen and not thawed out completely, and all the liquid had sunk to the bottom. And even when I mixed it up, it just had almost a bit of a sour taste. And I was ready for something to be askew after while we were waiting for our orders to come in. Somebody else came up and pointed out that on one of their chicken burgers, the bun had mold on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.